Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be going over everything in the Pat McGrath Opulence Collection. I have 3 palettes here, 1, 2, 3, as well as 3 lipstick sets. I am going to go over swatches, details, everything, as well as 3 looks. I'm going to do 1 look with each of the palettes. So this might be a long video, but worth it because I mean, Pat McGrath, do I need to say anything else? Like I said, this is the Opulence Collection. Now, you can buy these things individually. You can buy them in different sets, each of them. Like you can buy a set with 1 of the eyeshadow palettes that come with 2 lipsticks. You can buy all 3 of the eyeshadow palettes. It's a whole different thing on her website. Make sure you check out the website because I feel like that's going to take too long for me to go through each of your options and how much it would cost you. I'm just going to tell you what I did, and what that is I've got the everything kit, which included all 3 of the palettes and then the 3 matte trance lip sets. Now, there's actually 1 shade that you're not going to get, which is another red. I feel like I didn't need it anyway, which is, what is it, Flesh 3 or something like that. But what I'm going to do is show you each of these, which retail for $55 a piece if you wanted to buy them individually. How I did it was $300 for everything, but for the first 2 days, it was supposed to be just for the first day, but for the first 2 days, if you ordered, you got 10% off. It was almost a $400 value because each of the lipsticks alone is $38, so I got almost $400 down to $300 down to $30 off of that, so $270 for 3 palettes and 6 lipsticks. I am not mad about it at all. So I'm going to go through each of these individually, and then I'm going to show you the lipstick swatches. And also, none of the lipsticks are new. They are just in pretty packaging and pretty colors. And I didn't have any of them other than $19.95, which I apparently lost, so I needed it anyway. The first one I'm going to show you is this pink guy right here, and this is the METALMORPHOSIS palette. This is the only one that is all metals, and you can use these wet or dry. Oh, they're so pretty. And that's what she looks like. Let me go ahead and show you guys the swatches. Metallurgy, copper, sterling, smoked amethyst, bronze, and gold standard. If you were to buy the kit with the lipsticks, this is the little box that the lipsticks come in. I'm going to keep it, of course. And then these are the 2 lipsticks. We have Forbidden Love, which is this beautiful red shade. All of them are the matte trance formula. And then we also have CHRISTY, which is this one right here. Next up, the one in the blue is called Dark Star. I kind of hate these little sheets. I love them and I hate them because I want to know the names, but I also don't want to lose this. But this is what that palette looks like. And for swatches, Entice, Deep Space, Enraptured, Dark Matter, Metropolis, and Interstellar, which is so gorgeous. And then if you were to happen to buy this kit together, this is the box of the lipsticks, and then the 2 lipsticks you get is what I have on right now, which is $19.95, the one that I lost. I don't know how I even do that. And then the other one is a deep red, and this is Guinevere. And then lastly, the one that I have on my eyes right now is Bronze Temptation, and this is what she looks like. For the swatches, we have Celestial, Burning Desire, Supernova, Dark Paradise, Corruption, which is like the best thing in the entire world, and Provocatrix. And here is the package for the little duo of lipsticks, and in that one you get Ami, this one here, as well as Elson, which is a beautiful, this is my favorite red out of all of them. Everything is limited edition. The lipsticks are in limited edition packaging, but are not limited edition colors. Like, this is what the packaging would normally look like, but then like you get these pretty flippin' awesome colors. But anyway, I am going to go through all of these tutorials, and then I'm going to give you guys my thoughts at the end. For the first look, I'm using the Bronze Temptation palette, so it's the look that I have on right now. Starting off with a MAC 242 and that beautiful green called Supernova, and I'm packing that on the outer V. I'm wiping off my brush, and then I'm going back in with Corruption, and I'm putting that on the front part of the lid. Now, I'm not meeting up with the green yet, but then I'm going to go back and tap over it. I just want to make sure that I merge these together, but I don't lose the green. Then with the Goss number 19, I'm taking Burning Desire into the crease. Now I'm going to start off just lightly getting this right into the crease, and then I'm going to start blending it upwards as I have less product on my brush, and this blends out so effortlessly. And then I'm going to take that same shade and I'm going to work it onto the lower lash line with the same brush. Now going back in, I'm going to touch up Corruption with the 242, and then back in with the Wayne Goss number 19 and the green. And I'm going to work that on the outer V again, and then to the outer V crease. So I'm kind of making this a little bit smoky just on the outer V area. With a clean Goss number 18, I'm just blending around the edges to make sure that everything is nice and clean. And then with a MAC 242, I'm taking Celestial and highlighting my brow arch. And then lastly, I'm going in with Provocatrix on a MAC 228 and I'm highlighting the inner corner. And then to finish off this look, I went in with my Milk Makeup gel liners. I used the black shade in Boss for the inner rim up top, and then the nude shade in BCC for the bottom, and then of course just mascara. For the next look, we're going in with the blue palette called Dark Star, and I'm taking a MAC 242 and Interstellar, and I am working that onto the lid. This beautiful blue shade, I'm just taking it all the way across the lid, first stamping it and then kind of swiping it into place. Then with a MAC 221, I'm taking Deep Space into the crease. It's going to be a harsh line at first, and then again, I'm going to blend it upwards. No issues with blending the shade upwards. It's just so effortless. Then I'm taking that shade onto the lower lash line and just smoking it out. And with a Delium 716, I'm going back in with Interstellar. This time I'm using it wet just so that I don't get a lot of fallout. And I am taking that right up against the lower lash line. Now with a 221, I'm going back in with Interstellar and I'm blending that into the crease. I'm doing this because I don't want there to be a line between the matte and the shimmer blue on the lid. I kind of want them to blend together. With the shade Entice, I'm taking that on a MAC 242 and highlighting the brow arch, and then Enraptured on the inner corner. With a MAC 242, I'm taking a little bit of Metropolis and I'm going to blend this on the lash line. I'm kind of tapping it into place and then blending back and forth because I don't want it to be a harsh line. I just want to add a little bit of smokiness right at the lash line. And then as long as you don't have sensitive eyes, you can take Enraptured again, 242. This is dry and I am tapping it into the waterline. The reason why this works is because your waterline is usually wet and this shadow can be used wet, so it adheres and then it just adds a little bit of zhuzh. To finish off the look, again, all I did was add on mascara and my Milk liner in Boss to the inner top rim. And then lastly, we have the pink palette, which is the Metalmorphosis, and this is an all shimmer palette. 242 and Gold Standard, I'm taking that on the center of the lid. And then with that same brush, I'm going in with Copper, and I'm going on the inner and outer side of the lid, and I'm gonna go in like a little rainbow and make sure that I get that wrapped all the way around the yellow gold. With my finger, I'm now going to take Gold Standard and I'm going to tap it on the center and then just kind of blend it out. I feel like with your finger, you get a little bit more warmth and you can blend it easier into the other shade without having any kind of harsh lines. On a MAC 221, I'm taking bronze and I'm taking this into the crease and then slowly going to blend it up, just like I would a matte shade. And at first it's gonna look real shimmery, but then after that, I'm gonna go in with the Sonia G Worker 2 brush and I'm gonna go around the edges. When I'm blending right around the edges, it's gonna make it look just a little bit more diffused, therefore not as shiny and not matte, but it just makes it kind of blend perfectly. Then I'm going to go back into the crease with Copper and a MAC 221 just to deepen it up. Smoked Amethyst on a Royal & Langnickel BOM 18, and I'm going to push that right up against the lower lash line and blend it out with a Wayne Goss number 4 so that there's no harsh edges right at the bottom. Now for the fun part, I am going to take a Linda Hallberg 333 and I'm using I can't pronounce it, the first metallic shade in the first row, and I'm going to use this as winged liner. So I am going back and forth from my palette to my eye and I'm just creating a wing on the outside edge, and then I'm going to go in with sterling at the front because I want it to be just a little bit brighter, so it's going to be bright into the little bit more subdued. So I'm taking that same 333 from Linda Hallberg and just kind of creating a line and attaching it to the last shade. Now I want to have more of a matte brow highlight because this is such a shimmery eye look. So I'm just going with the bone color shade. Mine is a MAC Blanc type and a 242 and just highlighting the brow arch. And then to finish this off, I'm taking Gold Standard on a Goss number 5 and precisely getting that right on the inner corner. Again, no lashes for this look, but I took Boss from Milk and I put it on the inner and lower waterline to finish it off. All right, so for my thoughts on the palettes, I initially thought that the blue one was going to be my favorite, but it's my second favorite. I knew I was going to love all of them. They all performed very well. I do get a little bit of fallout. I don't mind because I think that these are so pretty and stunning. The blue in this blue shade, it's a blue palette. Come on, I'm getting tired, you guys. I just did 3 eye looks, but this is absolutely stunning. I just think it's beautiful. And just like her other last 3 mini palettes, they perform exactly the same. I think if you liked the original 3 minis, you're going to like these. So this one is my second favorite. And then my first favorite is the one that I have on my eyes right now. I don't know how I missed that Corruption had this shift to it because it is a little bit of almost green, yellow, and reddish maroon. I had no idea, and I have some of those like pigments from Dawn Eyes Cosmetics that have that shift to it, and I don't know if you can actually even see it on the camera right now, but I'm going to figure out a way to make sure that I insert so you can see the shift on that. It's so nice to have it in a shadow and not like in a pigment. If I was going to suggest just one, it would be this one just because it's my personal favorite. And then this one right here, I know a lot of people think you can't do an all shimmer eye look. I say, hey, why not? These are stunning. Some of the colors in here, they're so bright and metallic, especially when you use them wet. Like, did you see how bright this silver was and the gold? And I really enjoyed this shade right here. I just think that is beautiful and it's something that you can use every day. You could use this as a companion palette, obviously. I don't feel like I would have to. I think I would be more inclined to use 2 of the shades in here and do like, let me think here. Like if I wanted to use this yellow and do all over, and then take the shade right beside it and go right around the edges, and then highlight my brow arch and inner corner. That would be a look. Like, you don't have to use all the shades in here. I just try to use as many as possible so that you guys can see how they perform, and they perform very, very well. If fallout bothers you, just make sure that you do your makeup afterwards. Everything just swiped away for me. The first two looks, I only had like concealer and a little bit of powder on, and that was it, so I wasn't even worried about it. But like, these are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And then the lipsticks, obviously, I'm not going to tell you you need these if you already have them in the permanent packaging. I'm kind of glad that the only one I had was $19.95, and I'm not glad that I lost it, but I'm glad that I have it in blue instead of black. So if you haven't tried the MATTERANCE lipsticks, these are wonderful, non-drying. They are a matte without being like, I don't know, they're one of the best matte formulas you can absolutely ever find anywhere. I love them. So I'm very happy that I have them all in limited edition packaging now. I do want to say that if you are interested in these, the 20% off, I talked about it in my last video, that obviously I hadn't gotten my hands on it yet, but that I was going to recommend them anyway. You can't get all of the lipsticks as I just looked. They weren't all on there. The red ones I saw, but not everything else. I didn't see the kits. So it's going to be up to you if you want to do the Pat McGrath route, which is where I bought mine, obviously on her site. Or you can wait for the sale. If you want just one palette, you can get 20% off. Do it that way. Everything is phenomenal. I don't think there's a dud in here. The packaging is gorgeous. I expect nothing less. This just hits it out of the park for me. So yeah, check out all the different packages you can get on the Pat McGrath site. I just want to tell you guys that because I think there's so many different options. I know some things are sold out right now. I have no idea if it's going to be restocked, but I would assume it would at some point. But anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed all 3 of those tutorials. If you've gotten your hands on these already, let me know what you think. Tell me which one's your favorite, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.